You want to talk about something that started earlier and is still happening right now, but the right word doesn't come out. Or you're waiting for something that hasn't happened, and you don't know whether to use still or yet. You freeze. Your brain goes blank. Sound familiar?
Hailey, I know that feeling so well. I once told my friend I didn't finish the report still, and she looked at me confused. I felt embarrassed because I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what.
That exact confusion with still and yet happens to almost every English learner. These two small words carry big meaning, and mixing them up can change the whole feeling of your sentence.
Welcome to Everyday English. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Hailey. We're so happy you're here with us today.
If this podcast helps you speak more naturally and confidently, please like this episode and subscribe to Everyday English. It really means a lot to us and helps us reach more learners, just like you.
Okay, Ryan. Today, we're going to make still and yet feel simple, clear, and natural, so you can use them comfortably in real conversations. Let's go. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. Still or yet? This always confuses me. Why do we need two words for almost the same idea?
Hailey, honestly, when I first learned these two words, my mind would freeze every time I tried to speak. I understood them separately, but in real sentences, they felt blurry and scary.
And that confusion is completely normal, Ryan. These small words appear everywhere in daily English, but they're rarely taught clearly. Let me slow down here for a second and say something honest. If this feels difficult right now, it doesn't mean you're behind or not smart enough. It means you're exactly where every learner stands before this finally clicks. Today, there will be no heavy grammar tables, no memorizing complicated rules, just real situations, real feelings, and us talking like friends. Mistakes mean you're trying. Trying means you're already moving forward. Let's start with a story, Hailey. I love starting with stories, Ryan. Let's go.
Close your eyes, Ryan. Picture this. It's 8 p.m. You're sitting in your room after a long day. The lights are soft. Your phone is in your hand. You promised your friend you would reply to her message by 6 p.m.
Okay, I'm already there, Hailey. I can feel the guilt.
You open the chat. You still haven't replied. In that moment, you think, I'm still so busy. That feeling of continuation is exactly what still expresses. Something started earlier, and it hasn't stopped.
So, still shows that the situation continues?
Exactly, Ryan. Now, let's change the picture. Same room, same time. Your friend messages you. Have you replied to my email yet? That question carries expectation. Something should have happened by now.
And the answer could be no. I haven't replied yet.
Perfect. Notice the difference in feeling. Still explains continuation. Yet talks about something that hasn't happened up to this moment. But we expect it might happen soon.
Still is like a bridge that keeps going. Yet is like waiting at the end of the bridge.
I love that metaphor, Ryan. Still keeps the action alive. Yet waits for the action to arrive.
Listeners, let's practice this together. Think about something you are still doing right now. Say quietly, I'm still. Go ahead.
Now think about something you haven't done yet today. Say, I haven't. Yet. Pause us and say it out loud. Even if you're not sure, just try. That's all we ask.
Write in the comments right now one sentence using still and one using yet from your real life. We read every single comment.
Still and yet are small words.
New picture, Ryan. Imagine you're at home in the evening. Your mom walks into the kitchen and sees you on your phone. She asks, "Have you finished your homework yet?"
And you reply, no, I'm still working on it.
Beautiful! See how naturally both words work together in real conversation? One asks about completion, the other explains continuation.
So still feels like the action is ongoing, yet feels like we're waiting for the action to be complete.
Exactly. Let's take another situation. You ordered food online 30 minutes ago. You check the app, nothing. You say, the food hasn't arrived yet.
But after 1 hour, you become impatient and say, the food is still not here.
Yes! The longer you wait, the more emotion still carries. It can show surprise, annoyance, or disappointment.
That's such a useful point, Hailey.
Listeners, pause us for a moment. Think about something you're waiting for right now. Try both versions, one with yet and one with still. Which one feels more natural in your situation?
You're doing great. Don't worry about being perfect. Nobody is.
Let me slow down here, Ryan. This part is important. Still focuses on continuation, yet focuses on expectation. When you understand the feeling behind them, using them becomes much easier.
Write one sentence using still and one using yet about your day in the comments. We genuinely want to see your examples.
Still and yet are not just grammar. They are feelings we use every single day. And now you're starting to feel them too.
Okay, Ryan, let's go deeper now. Let's look at situations where both still and yet can appear, but the feeling changes completely.
Hailey, I have to be honest. I still sometimes pause when I have to choose between these two in fast conversations.
Me too. Imagine you're waiting for an important call. After 1 hour, you say, "She hasn't called yet." That feels neutral, just giving information.
But after 3 hours, you say, she still hasn't called. Now it carries emotion, maybe worry, maybe annoyance.
Exactly. The same situation, but different feeling. Still adds emotional weight, yet is more factual.
Listener, can we talk to you directly for a moment? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Even native speakers choose the wrong one sometimes. What matters is that you keep speaking.
Let me slow down here, Ryan. This is really important. English is not about perfection. It's about connection. If people understand your meaning, you're already winning. That's such a freeing thought, Hailey. Let's practice together. Say with us, I still haven't finished my project. That shows continuation and maybe a bit of pressure. Now say, I haven't finished my project yet. That feels calmer. Both are correct. Both are useful. Both belong in real, everyday English. Advanced learners know that tone and context decide which word feels more natural, and you are becoming that kind of learner.
Okay, Ryan, it's error lab time. And like always, I have made every single one of these mistakes myself.
Same here, Hailey. Let's fix them together with zero embarrassment.
Mistake number 1. Saying, I didn't eat still. What feels off there, Ryan?
It doesn't sound natural, Hailey.
Exactly. The correct version is I still haven't eaten, or I haven't eaten yet. We usually use present perfect with yet.
Mistake number 2. Putting yet in the wrong position. Like saying, I yet haven't finished.
Yes. Yet almost always goes at the end of the sentence. I haven't finished yet.
Mistake number 3. Using still when you should use yet in questions. Saying, are you ready still?
That sounds strange. Better to say, are you ready yet? Because you're asking about completion.
And mistake number 4. Overthinking so much that you stop speaking.
Remember, mistakes mean you're trying. Trying means you're already winning. The error lab is closed. You survived. You grew.
Okay, listeners, game time. And Ryan, remember, this is not a test.
Let me list what we learned, Hailey. Number 1. Still shows continuation. Something that started before and is still happening. Number 2. Yet shows expectation. Something that hasn't happened up to now, but we think it will. Number 3. Context and emotion decide which one feels more natural. Now, close your eyes for just a moment, listeners. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You're in a real conversation. Someone asks you a question, and without thinking, without translating in your head, the right words simply come out. Naturally, confidently. That's where you're heading. And today was one more step toward that version of you. Tell us in the comments, which one felt harder today? Still or yet? We read every single comment.
If this episode helped you even a little, please share it with one friend who's learning English too. Learning together is always better. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to Everyday English. We make episodes just like this one every single week. If you're listening to this alone right now, late at night, early in the morning, or on your commute, know this. Many learners around the world are doing exactly the same thing right now. You are not alone. Let me slow down here for one last moment, Hailey, and say something I really mean. Go ahead, Ryan. Every small word you learn today brings you closer to speaking English freely. You showed up. You listened. You tried. That already makes you better than yesterday. See you next time on Everyday English. Keep speaking, keep believing. Bye, everyone.